Hi, and welcome. We're here today to talk to you about the Leadership and Student Affairs Master's Program at the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Dr. Jayne Sommers. I'm the Program Director and primary faculty member in the Leadership and Student Affairs MA program. I have an undergraduate degree from Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota. I then did a master's degree in Women's Studies at the University of Sussex in Brighton, England. Then I came up here and did the LSA program, so I'm a graduate of the Leadership and Student Affairs Master's Program in 2009. I then worked at Hamline University in residence life and orientation, and then got my PhD from the University of Minnesota in higher education, then became a faculty member in the LSA program. So that's who I am, and I'd like to have my colleagues introduce themselves, and then we'll get rolling.
I'm Jayne K. I'm a second year in the LSA program. I went to undergrad at Western Illinois University. My major was law enforcement with a minor in African American Studies. So I currently work on the St. Paul campus in residence life. So I oversee a building of about 300 to 350 upper class residents.
And I'm Lydia Yankee. I'm a first year in the LSA program. I work at St. Thomas undergrad in St. Paul in orientation, and I graduated from Hamline University with a major in political science, communications, and religion.
Great. So first, I'll give you a little bit of an overview of our program. So we really see three threads that connect all pieces of our program, and those are leadership, social justice, and theory to practice. So the leadership piece, you will see that our program is very intentionally titled Leadership and Student Affairs. As you're shopping around for student personnel preparation programs, you may find others that have a focus in counseling or other areas of our work. We explicitly focus on leadership in that our students take courses wherein they are thinking about their own leadership capacity and being able to articulate their leadership style while also developing their ability to maximize the leadership skills of others. So we want our students to be able to not only practice their own leadership, but build leadership in the students with whom they work as student affairs practitioners. The second thread is social justice. Our students throughout the program, in every course they take throughout the curriculum, should be thinking critically about issues related to social justice. So as an instructor, I don't teach any classes that explicitly have the phrase social justice in the title, but I do spend time making sure in every class period that we're thinking critically about who's represented when we're talking about different areas of our work, who is present at the table when decisions are being made, what does access to higher education look like for different populations, and I encourage my students to think critically about applying the concepts of social justice and justice for all to our work in student affairs. We do have one course explicitly titled Social Justice in Higher Education, in which our students are thinking about their own identities related to social justice, and then again sort of how to push the needle, as it were, related to social justice in our work across the country. The third thread is theory to practice. So we are purposefully a very practice-based program. As an instructor, I am always asking my students to apply what they're learning in the classroom or what they're reading in their textbooks to what they're doing professionally. Our students are required to have 2 practicum experiences, so 2 experiences working within the field of student affairs while they're in the program. And that is to ensure that our students leave the program with a well-rounded number of experiences and the ability to talk about their skills related to different functional areas within the field. So not only are our students applying theory to practice in their professional work, but they're also doing it frequently within the classroom. So those are the 3 threads: leadership, social justice, and theory to practice. I wanted to talk a little bit about where our students come from. So as you heard from Jaquez and Lydia, our students come from a variety of different undergraduate majors. We have students who even had degrees in the hard sciences and then realized that the field of student affairs was the place for them. So we have students coming from all different undergraduate majors. We have many students coming straight from undergrad. We also have a number of students who have worked in various fields, maybe worked in K-12 education or worked in a nonprofit, and then decided to come and pursue our degree. Across the board, though, all of our students have a common thread, common theme of identifying a desire to serve others, and in particular to serve folks who are pursuing a degree in higher education. So many of our students are focused on serving minoritized populations within higher education, so thinking about serving students of color, first-generation students. How can we change the face of higher education and ensure that our work serves all students in terms of wanting to pursue higher education? Where do our students go is also another question we get often. Where do our students work when they're finished with the program? We have students working all over the country. We have many students who stay within the Twin Cities locally because we have a number of higher education institutions. However, we do have many students that do national job searches and are ended up placed all over the country, and some international folks as well, people working outside of the United States. Our students find jobs in areas like academic advising, admission, residence life, orientation, campus activities, multicultural student services, international student services, study abroad. We have students working all over campuses in all areas of student affairs, and then also, again, all over the country. If you have expressed interest in our program, you probably have seen our curriculum grid. So that will help you see that our courses are explicitly laid out to build upon each other, and that we also operate under a cohort model. So generally speaking, our students start in the fall, and you'll start with a group of others, and then proceed through a curriculum together as a cohort. So our courses are intentionally built to sort of scaffold on each other. So you start with introductory courses that should help you get a sense of our field and of the more broad area of higher education. Also, what it is to be a researcher within a graduate level program, and how to be a consumer of research, a critical consumer of research. And then from there, courses build on those topics and dive deeper into things like student development theory. We have the text here for you to at least see the cover of. College student development theory, multicultural practice in student affairs, legal issues in student affairs, administrative leadership in student affairs, social justice in student affairs, and then you're also able to take some electives along the way. Also administrative leadership in student affairs. And then it all culminates in a capstone course the final spring of your second year, so most of our students get through the program in 2 years. However, some students who are working full-time or need to find another plan, work with me together to get through the curriculum in whatever time works for them. But it culminates in a capstone class where students are showing the relationship between all of their learning in the classroom and all of their professional experience throughout the program. We are a 42 credit master's program, and so I listed most of the core courses and topics, and then you'll get to pick and choose 3 different electives throughout your time in the program. So I will, I think, turn it over to our current students to talk a little bit about their experiences. But first, I'd love to hear from both of you about kind of how you found our program, how you ended up here at St. Thomas.
Okay, yeah. So in my undergrad, I was very involved, which is a lot like many of our students that are in the program. But a lot of my supervisors and mentors were graduates of this program. And so in conversations with those people, really kind of led me towards discovering what this program was about. And then also the website, very comprehensive website. So I spent a lot of time on there, a lot of time asking questions, and that's kind of what brought me to this program.
Yeah, so I was an RA in undergrad, so I had some of those experiences. My supervisors were going through a student affairs program at Western, and so I knew what it was, and I knew my sophomore year that this is what I wanted to do. And so I ended up going to the Oshkosh Placement Exchange, and that's where I found my match with St. Thomas, and then that's how I ended up here with Jayne.
Lydia, would you mind talking a little bit, as a first-year student in the program, what you found that you appreciate about it most thus far?
Yes, and that's a big part of what I wanted to bring up today. What I appreciate most about this program thus far is the cohort model. It's something that I have never been really exposed to in undergrad, but being with the same people through all the classes, through the 2-year program, or As we talked about earlier, some people take a little bit longer and they kind of fall between the two cohorts. It's nice to see familiar faces and knowing that so many people have been through the same classes as you or are with you right then and there. So the cohort model is really great. It's a very supportive atmosphere, and that's what I feed off most.
Jaquez, would you mind talking about how the program has prepared you for the job you want in the field of student affairs?
Yeah, so right now I'm a second year, getting ready to graduate in May, and so I think there are two specific classes that I can think of that I know that have helped me personally, and it's student development theory and administrative leadership. And specifically with student development theory, Jayne teaches us about how to identify social justice issues, but within yourself first, right? So you got to know yourself before you can help the students that you're working with. And so that is a big part and it's not our social justice class, but we talk a lot about social justice and student development theory, and so I got a lot out of that. So the second class is administrative leadership, and this is another one of my favorite classes. And this is more of the practical, right? So how do you send a professional email? Who do you CC when you're sending an email and things like that, and making budgets and doing budget cuts and what department do you want to take money from. So, this class was really cool. Like, I appreciated this class 100%, and it was hard to take money from departments. And so, and now that I'm going into the field, I know that I have this class in my background, and I can go back and say, no, I don't think I can take money from this because they're doing this or they're doing that. So.
Really practical information.
Yeah.
So we'd actually like to spend a little bit of time talking about, if you're interested in the program, some next steps you might take to learn more about the program or actually apply for the program.
Yep. So to apply for the program, our application process is pretty simple. So you'll go to our homepage, the LSA homepage, and so all we need is a personal statement, transcripts, and 2 letters of recommendation. And so you'll send all of that in a packet. So on the homepage, if you go to the right-hand side, it will say Start Your Application. You go ahead and click that, and it'll list out everything you need. Also, if you have any questions about the application process, you can give our graduate assistant send her an email or give her a phone call. But her email is SOE, which is
School of Education.
Exactly. So it's SOE-LSA@stthomas.edu. So go ahead and send her an email, and she'll be happy to respond.
So the next portion of that, after you apply and you're in the waiting area, if you've gotten accepted or not, we encourage you to apply, or register rather, for the LSA Visit Day that we have coming up. And Visit Day is on Friday, February 17th from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And that end time is really dependent upon the interviews you have that day. But it's a great chance to meet first years and second years and faculty and alumni. What we have planned for you that day, if you register, we have breakfast in the morning. It's very early, so no need to bring your coffee and stuff from home. We'll have it here for you. But then we'll move into a panel with current faculty, and we'll move into a panel with current students in the program, first and second years again. And then what we'll do is take the shuttle, the bus system we have here, over to the undergrad campus of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota. And we'll have an alumni lunch, so you get to talk to people that have been through this program and are in their professional careers. And from there, you go right to your interviews that you might set up for that day. So what I encourage you to do is register, again, from our website, but also start looking at the assistantships and internships section on our page, and you can kind of start seeing what it'll take to get an interview, or some of the positions that you're really interested in, and kind of figure that out there. So I encourage you to register for that day as well.
It's a great time. And Jameson can answer any questions you might have about the logistics of that day. But it's a great place to learn more about the program and also meet folks who are working in the area of student affairs within our geographical area. So networking is a big thing to happen there as well. So again, feel free to email Jameson at the email address that Jaquez mentioned, or give her a call at 651-962 4891. And we encourage you to let us know if you have any questions. Happy to chat or provide further perspectives for you. But we hope to see your materials soon, and we hope you have a great day. Thanks.